Hello, I am going to go live on Instagram and YouTube. It can't be that hard. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. I am live on YouTube and Instagram. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys today about social media and business. And if this isn't a hot topic right now, it should be because the other traditional forms of media, in my opinion, are not cutting it. But I have worked behind the scenes on a fairly large YouTube channel, actually, an internet business, because she not only posts on YouTube, but she's on Instagram and TikTok. But for the past several years, I've been helping with content strategy and everything else that goes along with running that business. But this is the first time, although I've had an internet based business, this is the first time that I've actually been consistent on posting my own social media content. So for the past 6 weeks, I've been posting consistently on a bunch of different platforms, and I've learned a lot, being on this side of the camera instead of being on the other side of the camera. So I wanted to share some of that with you guys and also have you guys kind of tell me what your experiences are and what your concerns are and what your struggles are as far as social media and your business. So, some of the questions you might have, since we're talking social media in general and not just YouTube, is what social media platforms are most effective for your business? Should you be on Instagram? Should you be on Facebook? Should you be on LinkedIn? Should you be on YouTube? How are you supposed to reach your target audience on these platforms? How do you get in front of the right eyeballs? I like to call them. What kind of content do you need to post on social media? Whether it's photos or videos or memes or graphics. How often do you need to post? And this is the big one: managing your time. Managing your time when you are running a business and trying to market that business on social media is huge. Um, Anyone who's never created content, video content, probably doesn't realize how tricky it is. And I can say for me, with the Raven Elise channel and having Raven, knowing that Raven's been on creating content on YouTube for probably going on 14 years, I'm like, well, how hard could it be? You just turn on the camera, right? And I can remember some situations where she tells me, hey, I'm filming a video. It's not going to be that complicated. It's going to be, a 20-minute video on XYZ. And 5 hours later, I'm like, are you still filming? Why are you still filming? Well, now I know, because stuff goes wrong. Things take longer than you think it does. You have to do retakes. You have to film over it's all kinds of things going on. So I'm going to look at what you guys are saying on Instagram and on YouTube. Hey, everybody that joined me from my course, Cupcake Queen Raven, good to see you. So Renee says her struggle is finding a subject that's not overly saturated, and how does an individual stand out? So it sounds like you're talking about you are wanting to be on social media, but you don't have a particular focus. You don't have a business that you're wanting to promote. You have a desire. to be on social media. Am I right, Renee? Um, Let me know, because I'll address some of that too. But the thing I want to make abundantly clear is that social media, yeah, Renee, social media, whether you are posting on social media because you want to promote, get in front of the right target audience for your business, or get in front of the right target audience as an influencer, the first thing you need to consider is one of the first things you need to consider is, how are you going to make money? None of my tips, strategies, content is about doing social media for fun. I don't really think, unless you're 14, that you're doing social media for fun. So you want to make money. You want to, and I think there's a misconception that as long as you're an influencer who's creating posts, social content around a specific niche, that of course the money's going to come. But that's not necessarily so. So give me some examples, Renee, while I look at some other questions about how you intend to monetize, and maybe tell me a little bit about what your passions are. Sticking to my own goals, no one to be accountable to for me is my biggest challenge, always has been. Zuluisms. If you are a person that has a personality to be self-employed, meaning, nobody tells you when you have to be at work, and nobody tells you when you have to do your work, get your work done, get your goals done. That stuff kind of maybe comes a little bit easier. And you just have to know yourself. You have to know whether or not you are the type of person that can be accountable to just yourself, or if are you the type of person that needs to have somebody tell you what to do? Goals are one thing, tasks are another thing. Tasks are the things that you do over and over again in order to reach your goals, Zuluisms. But yeah, no, nobody's gonna, no, I've seen this somewhere on social media. I think maybe I'm trying to give the creator credit for it. Nobody is coming to save you. When you have your own business and when you're your own boss on social media, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to make you do what you need to do except yourself. So maybe, let me see if I can give you something helpful around sticking to your goals. Do you write them down? Do you write them down? Do you put them on a calendar? Zuluisms? That helps me. I write all my goals down. So, and I want to go back to Renee when she talks about finding a subject that's not overly saturated. We're kind of veering off, but until somebody asks me, or we can get back on the track of talking about your business and marketing your business through social media, because that's what social media is. Whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, it is marketing. It is a way to get in front of an audience that you have something that's going to help them, that you're going to market to them, that is going to provide an income for yourself. So some of y'all, I think some of y'all are young, maybe too young to realize that we didn't have this social media 15, 20 years ago. If we had a business, or if we had a product that we wanted to sell to someone, even if you were selling something like Avon, the only way to reach your people was to put in the legwork, going door to door, knocking on doors, putting flyers on doors, mailing, bulk mail, mailing people postcards and flyers and hoping they get into the right hands. If you had money, if you had big money, you would have to put an ad in the yellow pages, put an ad on newspaper, put an ad in a magazine. If you had the big money, you would do a television ad. You would do a billboard. You don't have to do any of that now. You can get in front of your ideal audience for free with social media. And I don't know if the people who are in the room right now can appreciate that. If you can appreciate that, if you remember those days, leave me a thumbs up. Tell me something. Tell me that you're on the same page. Because I think a lot of you are, just operating on the premise that, hey, social media has always been around and this is just something that we can do. So Zuluisms, yes, exactly. It snowballs. This is a 6-year self-employed. I can do my business because it's orders people have spent their money on. It's my content that I can easily say later on. Pam says the youngins don't understand. Carrie says, I know of the Avon and Mary Kay days. Yes, y'all understand. This is a wonderful time to be alive and be in business. So back to Zuluisms. I would say I'm thinking of something about connecting your goals to a specific outcome. And if you want to get deeper into this, I've been lately just devouring Alex Hormozi's books and his content. And he has a great way of reverse engineering, like a sale. You say you do orders. What do you sell? Zuluisms. You want to tell me your name so I can stop calling you that? Reverse engineering. You have a widget. I'm going to just say you sell a widget. You sell a widget. And if so many X number of people know about your widget, 500 people know about your widget, 5 people are going to buy that widget. So you get 5 sales. So if you could think about increasing your sales by getting more eyeballs on your widgets through social media, you have a YouTube channel, you have an Instagram account, and you're posting daily. And every time you post, you get 100 people that see your post, that you're talking about your product and how it helps them. Well, if you post 5 times a week, that's 500 people. So you sell 5 widgets. If you post 10 times a week, you get in front of 1,000 people. So you sell 10 widgets. So if you can connect, you understand what I'm saying? If you can connect your outcome to your goals, and your social media goals might be in frequency of posting your content, then perhaps you're going to be more apt to post that content because you know it's directly related to making sales in your business. Shakara, you sell jewelry. Yes, widgets, jewelry. Does that make sense? If you can relate to your tasks of getting things done, and I'm assuming your goals are related to social media, then you're going to be more apt to do it. Why wouldn't you do it? I would do it. If I knew that the more I posted on social media, the more eyeballs are going to see my product, and then that's going to end up with more money in my pocket, then I would be more apt to do that. So you do it well for Instagram. And that's something I wanted to talk about because some creators start out on Instagram and they're doing really well, and they try to translate that to a platform like YouTube or TikTok, and they don't do as well. So it just takes some moving things around, trying different experiments on YouTube to see how you can get capture an audience over there. It takes different things. It takes different types of content. I was speaking to my daughter today about a video that just yesterday went viral on TikTok. Went viral, meaning 3 million views on TikTok. And talking to her about how she can post something similar, not that exact thing, on YouTube Shorts. Even two short form content platforms, YouTube and TikTok, may have very different ways that audiences approach the content. So to give you the example, the video on TikTok was a longer explanation. This is how I did this DIY costume for Halloween for my daughter, and her TikTok audience loved it. She typically does at least 60-second videos on TikTok. Her audience loves it there, even though, a lot of TikToks are 15 seconds and less. On YouTube, that people are just scrolling. They're not exactly consuming your TikTok content because your short form content because they follow you. You have really got to just capture them on YouTube, they're typically not looking for a long explanation. So I suggested that you take that content and turn it into something that's super digestible in a second. Here's your daughter. She's twirling around, and on the third twirl, she turns into Rapunzel with the beautiful costume. That kind of thing is probably going to do better on Instagram. But I don't know. I'm making this up. I'm judging from the type of content that I've seen on YouTube Shorts. And what the most important thing for you to know is you have to test it and try it out. Shakara. So if a certain type of content isn't doing well on YouTube, and I don't know why, a couple of things you can do to critique your own YouTube content. I'll touch on that a little bit, although I don't want this to be all about YouTube. Look at your click-through rate. If the click-through rate is low, they're not checking for the thumbnail and the title. If they're clicking on it, but they're not sticking around, that's your audience retention. That means you need to do something to keep them more engaged in the video. And if they're watching the video, but they're not buying, or maybe you don't want them to go straight into buying because that's kind of like a cold call, but where are you funneling them to from the YouTube video? If you're trying to funnel them to, hey, buy this jewelry, that may be a little bit too much too soon. You might want to tell them to sign up for a mailing list where they're going to learn about whenever you have certain sales going on and certain specials going on. Oh, now you're saying you want to move into mental wellness and longer form content. Okay, well, I was confused. I thought you just wanted to sell jewelry. Is it true that if we skip the ad on videos, the content creators don't get paid? Not exactly. Yes and no. Girl Camp. If you skip the ads on YouTube videos, it's not a one. And first of all, YouTube doesn't even want you to know how all that works. YouTube creators still get paid even if you have a product like is it called YouTube Red, where you don't see the ads. I have that type of account. Even though I have that type of account, a YouTube creator will still get a portion of the ad revenue or a portion of the membership, the money that people pay for memberships. But yeah, it's a fine line. They do get paid. I mean, they may not get paid from your view, but they get paid from others' views. And I support hundreds of YouTube creators, and I don't have my ads turned on. That doesn't mean they don't get any income. And besides, AdSense revenue is not the only way that creators get paid. Hi, Steffi. So if you sell real estate, I think that I'm going to go back to which platform is best for your business. If anyone is wondering about which platform might be best, Shakara sells jewelry. Jewelry is very visual. You want to see the jewelry. Perhaps Instagram is the best platform for that. If you have a business, like if you're a real estate salesperson, if you're in real estate sales, also sometimes the homes that you're selling are very visual. You may want to show them. I've seen lots of real estate content on TikTok. I've seen educational, if you want to educate people about the buying process, about the investing process, then YouTube is a great format for that. But also Instagram to share educational content about real estate would be perfect. Mom on a Mission. What do I mean by click view, and where do you find that? I'm not sure. What did I say about click view? Give me a little bit more context, Mom on a Mission. Fuzzy Spirals. What about a med spa? Med spa, I've seen tons of med spas on Instagram. Lots of befores and after. The med spa I go to has gotten tons of business from both YouTube and Instagram because some of the content that does really well are befores and afters. I've seen a lot of that. I mean, that pops up on my For You page all the time. That might tell you what kind of content I'm consuming, but also showing the process on a longer form video on YouTube, kind of behind the scenes. And that kind of moves us into what kind of content do you need to post? If I were a med spa owner, I would definitely be showing photos of befores and afters. I would also be answering questions that people have about certain procedures. You could do that in short form video on Instagram. You could do that in short form video on TikTok. You could do it in a longer form video on YouTube. You could show behind the scenes. If you have clients that don't mind showing, having their procedures shown on camera, lots of times people want to see, what is actually involved in having these procedures done. But the best thing that you can do is create content that's going to answer a question or solve a problem that your potential customers might have. I'm partial to YouTube because YouTube's the second largest search engine behind Google. So that if I post a video that answers the question, what really does, okay, here's one. Does eyebrow blading hurt? That's what people want to know. Does Botox hurt? Does it hurt to get lip filler? How much does it cost? What are the side effects of lip filler or whatever? I would create content that specifically addresses those questions, specifically on YouTube and also on TikTok, because TikTok is getting to be quite the search engine. Makings of Mo, you're a baker. Which do you think? Another thing you may want to consider when you're deciding what platform to post on is, where are your people? Where are your people? Who are you trying to reach? Are you, Mo, are you trying to reach people who are going to buy your cakes? Are you going to trying to reach people who want to learn how to bake cakes? That's important. Where are your people? Pam, what about a service such as personal coaching for people who are learning to code? It's so specific, but it is education. So it's been said that Facebook is for an older audience. I'm thinking about coding. You may be teaching more mature people how to code. I'm not sure, but that sounds like something that younger people would be interested in. I would go where the eyeballs are, where the younger folks' eyeballs are. TikTok, dropping little tidbits about learning to code, and where not just learning to code, but why you might want to learn to code. Dropping those nuggets there. And it is specific, but Pam, don't be frightened by the specific niche. The more specific the niche, the easier it's going to be for you to talk to your audience. That if you say, hey, want to learn how to code? These are the top 10 things. Then everybody who's not wanting to code isn't going to listen. But the people who want to code are going to be tuned into you. And what you're going to do is you're going to be dropping those types of posts on the platforms that are your preference. And eventually, not right off the bat, eventually, I mean, like me, for instance, I am starting to build an audience around businesses that are interested in social media. Because I have somewhat of an audience already, not everybody in that audience is interested in social media for business. But the more that I post and the more I talk about it, more those people are going to jump on the bandwagon. Let me see if I have any more questions. Thanks for not skipping videos, ads on Raven's videos, but it's fine. It's okay. I don't think creators expect you to sit through the ads, on all of their videos. Would I say that handmade soap is a saturated market? I want to turn my hobby into a business. I think that's entirely possible. Is there a market that's not saturated? That's not saturated? No, but nobody is going to make handmade soap the way you do. Nobody's going to market handmade soap the way you do. Nobody's going to have the exact target market as you. So I don't want, this is like business advice. I don't want those of you that are thinking about starting a small business and marketing it on social media to be afraid that, oh, it's too saturated, somebody's already doing it. Nothing new under the sun, honey. Nothing new. So your task is to take that thing that you're passionate about, that you're interested in, that you're good at, and put your own spin on it. Do it your way. And therefore, it becomes a unique product or idea. If you have figured out a way, the more important thing that I'm thinking about is, how many bars of soap do you have to sell to make a living? That's the way I approach businesses when I'm thinking of doing something. How many of those I got to sell? And if you got to sell a boatload of them, no worries. You can do that. But you got to be prepared for what it's going to take to sell a boatload of those products, whether it's soap, jewelry, coaching. There's enough to go around, I believe. There's do y'all get what I'm saying about you could be successful doing anything, whether it's quote unquote saturated or not. How good are you at it? And do you have the bandwidth to serve the market in a way that you're going to make money? What's the best platform for a fitness page? Should I create a separate page for that content, or can I merge my personal with fitness? So that's a big question. Best platform, fitness for who? Maybe I should have started this live stream off talking about a different subject, like honing in on your ideal audience. Fitness for who? Fitness for me, 60-year-old women? Fitness for 20-year-olds? Fitness for men? Fitness for women? What kind of fitness? Weight training? Cycling? Tennis? So, all of that, all those considerations, so the purpose of this live stream is not to tell you what the best platform is for your particular business or your service, but to let me just tell you what you need to consider when you're choosing the best platform. Are your people there? Are the people that you want to serve on that platform? Yes, no, maybe. What kind of content are you interested in creating? And does it lend itself better to photos, short videos? That might be Instagram. Quick snippets? That might be TikTok. Longer form? That's definitely going to be YouTube. Do you want to be searchable? It's going to be TikTok and YouTube. What platforms do you have the bandwidth to create on? TikTok, Instagram, you're on your phone. You can do it sitting right here and post it and not have to do a whole lot of editing. YouTube, sorry, I got to catch him outside. YouTube is a little more involved. So you got to know whether or not you're going to be prepared to edit the longer form videos, if you're going to be able to afford to pay someone to edit the videos for you. Those are the things that you need to consider. There's no one platform that's best for one specific type of business. But this is just, talking about, you guys, the considerations that, and in fact, I got a video I'm getting ready to do. I've got a whole video on this, you guys. I think it's going to be posting in the next couple of weeks, but I go into detail on all the different platforms, Facebook, the pros, the cons, a few little strategies that you could use, Instagram's pros, cons, strategies, engagement, even LinkedIn, a strategy for LinkedIn. And then I go in real deep on YouTube because that's my jam. But in making a decision to post on any of these platforms, you need to ask yourself, what are your business goals? Do I want to drive brand awareness? Do I want to make sales? Do I want to create a warm audience that I can sell to later? Where's my audience hanging out? Just talked about that. And what type of content you can consistently create. If you answer those three questions, you will know what platforms you should create on. Now, for me personally, since I am teaching this, I'm dabbling in all the major platforms: LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Is there something else? Not Twitter. Not X. But I'm mostly doing this for research purposes, but you could also do this to figure out, kind of get your feet wet and say, you know what? I'm just not really liking TikTok, or YouTube is not for me. And so, and then you could also take that data after you've been creating, like for the past 6 weeks, I've been creating on all the platforms. I can look and see, where am I gaining the most traction? Am I gaining followers on TikTok, or is it just sitting there no matter what I post? Am I getting more views on my YouTube videos? So at the end of 2 or 3 months, I may decide that, you know what, I am not going to create original content for TikTok. I'm just going to do my YouTube content, and then I'm going to do some Instagram posts. But just going back to Chloe, talking about your fitness content, you should give the people what they came for. If you're posting fitness, post fitness. However, that's YouTube. On some platforms like Instagram, you can post your fitness content in your reels and in your posts, but in your stories, you give them a little bit of your personal side. So, not exactly merging personal with fitness, but showing a personal side of yourself while you're sharing fitness. Does Pinterest pay you to post pictures? No. Pinterest is just another vehicle to get eyeballs on your content. Let's just say you post a picture. Let's just use the Rapunzel outfit that Raven made. She can post a really cute picture or even a short video on Pinterest. And then the post, if somebody sees that post and they like it, they want to find out more, they can click on it and perhaps be taken to her blog page where she has additional information on how she made that outfit. Or they could go to her Instagram account and see more pictures. Pinterest is a way to funnel people to, in my mind, this is the way I think of using it, funnel people to other platforms, maybe get them interested in other things that you posted. The analytics are not rocket science, Michelle. Thanks for that question. They're not rocket science, but if you don't know what you're looking for, and that is on the back end of YouTube, on the back end of TikTok, on the back end of Instagram, but especially YouTube, it can be really confusing. So that's another video I'm going to make about reading your analytics and knowing which analytics are important. They give you a lot of information. They give you a whole lot of information, and some of that information is more important than others. On YouTube, for example, your click-through rate is important. Where people are finding you is important. I make sure that I am seeing everybody's questions. Let me zoom back up. Oh, this is a good question. All things empowerment. On YouTube, I see suggested videos on a lot of my content. Does that mean YouTube is putting it in front of people that they think will watch? Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't move this. On YouTube, and possibly on the other social media platforms, nobody's going to see your content unless YouTube suggests it. You may think, oh, well, people subscribe to me, people have notifications turned on. Yes, and if I am a fan of yours, All Things Empowerment, and you have and I just love, I follow some accounts like this. I just devour everything they make. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to type in All Things Empowerment. I'm going to try to see, do you have a new video that I can watch? And if you do, I'm going to get it. But for the most part, The only way people are going to see your content is if the platform itself suggests it to them. And that could be something that shows up on your homepage. That could be or on the other platforms on your For You page. Or that could be if you're searching for something. It still needs to be recommended by YouTube. If I search for DIY Rapunzel outfit, the only way YouTube is going to suggest it to me is because that particular video about Rapunzel outfit has those words, keywords, phrases, and tags on it. So everything on YouTube and most things on other social media platforms are being suggested to you by the platform because they think it's something you want to watch based on your watch history and based on other content that you've interacted with. Does that make sense? So, absolutely true. What other questions do you guys have for me about I'm sorry, I'm scrolling back up. Business and social media. How did I learn to edit and how hard is learning the editing software? It depends on the software. Some softwares are more complicated than others. Everybody knows about CapCut. CapCut is, I think there's a free version, fairly easy. There's also another easy and possibly free or mostly free editing software called Descript, Descript, that is so easy to edit that if you upload your video, and this can be short form or long form, this is the AI, this is the coming into some robotic stuff, y'all. You upload your video to the platform, it transcribes what you're saying, and you edit the video by taking out the words that you don't want. So if I stuttered, if I said, I mean, and you want to take that part out, you just delete those words from the transcript and your video gets edited. So to answer your question, some platforms are easier than others. You know, iMovie that comes with the Mac computer is fairly easy for me, self-explanatory. Even if it's not, guess what? There's YouTube videos that show you exactly how to do it. That's the power of social media. If I don't know what I'm doing on Descript or iMovie or Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, there's a YouTube video that's going to explain exactly how to do it. So, but it takes practice, it takes work. Nobody is born knowing how to edit. You have to learn. It's not hard. It takes a lot of practice, but that's just what you'll be putting. If you're on YouTube, or if you're on social media, even TikTok, you're gonna be posting hundreds of pieces of content. I'm doing it right now, and every time I learn something new, every time I figure out, oh, my mic is not right, my lights aren't right, my camera is showing something I didn't want it to show. That's how you learn. Who says that? I think that's a comedian, George. What's his name? The Hispanic comedian. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, he said, that's how you learn. You learn by doing. Let's see. Do you have to wait until you reach 1,000 subscribers before companies take you serious for affiliate marketing or brand deals? Probably at least 1,000. I mean, at least 1,000. But there are brands that work with micro influencers that have between 1,000 and 10,000 subscribers. You're gonna want to try and grow the largest audience that you can of your targeted people, because that's what it's about. you have a 1,000 subscribers. Maybe, like I said, using those numbers that I used before, maybe 10 people are interested in the thing that the brand is wanting to promote. That may not be worth their time. Now, if you have 10,000 people and 100 people are interested, and I'm just using those broad numbers. It really depends. Yes, you need to build an audience. That's what my whole mission is about on YouTube and on social media, is letting people know that if you're wanting to make money through influencing or through marketing your business on social media, you have to work on growing a large audience. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, and it's going to take repetition. George Lopez. Thank you, y'all. George Lopez. That's how you learn. Okay? So Julie, your job is to actually be growing that larger audience. How do you grow a larger audience? Give them valuable content over and over and over again. Constantly improve in your delivery of that content over and over and over again. Rinse, reuse, repeat. Learn, improve, post. Learn, improve, post. Most people wait. It's like, I'm not good enough. No, you're going to have to be failing in front of the people. You're going to have to be failing in front of the people. Thankfully, not that many people are going to be watching you. So it's fine. Get over yourself. I'm having to get over myself. Bear Pantry. When brands contact me, all they want is to give me item for free in exchange for a video. They never want to pay me. What's your audience like? Bear Pantry. Yeah, brands will try. People will do that. They will try to get stuff for free. It's up to you. And if you're new and if you're small and if you want to build an audience and if you need these products to create content, valuable content for your audience, do it. Do I mind mentioning the author I said earlier? Y'all, Alex Hormozi. Let me type it in the comments. Alex Hormozi. I have devoured 2 of his books, $100 Million Offers and $100 Million Leads. I didn't buy the books at first because I was like, what does that have to do with me? I'm nowhere in the vicinity of 100 million nothings. But it's really good basic business strategy and information, and including his YouTube content. You're going to learn. I do mostly affiliate because I'm not obligated to make a video. You have 106K? Yeah, they should be paying you. And, do you ever negotiate and say, hey, no, I can't do it for free, but what I could do is XYZ. They might go for it. And let me just say, are you on YouTube, Bear Pantry? Because YouTube brand deals have tanked in the past couple of years. The money was flowing on YouTube with brand deals up until maybe last year, mid last year, and then they kind of realized that they need to look at more than just subscribers. They need to look at more than just views, and they need to be looking at their ROI. So they're getting a little bit smarter, but they're really pulling back on the money. Yeah, with a following on Facebook of 226,000, 105 on YouTube, they should be paying you. I mean, you are a mid-level influencer. And Fuzzy Spirals, I agree. No way you should be doing anything for free at your thing, but they are. And then I don't know if you're prepared to do this, but what we found is a lot of the brands are wanting to work with short form. They're wanting Instagram and they're wanting TikTok posts. And that content is a little easier for us to create. So sometimes if a brand says, and this is not necessarily addressing your problem of them not wanting to pay you at all, but let's just say if there was a creator in a spot where they were like, they are offering me such little money for a whole YouTube video, to go back to them and say, hey, look, I can't do this on YouTube, but I have this kind of engagement on TikTok. I can do a TikTok for you. Sometimes they'll go for it. Yeah, that's frustrating. Bear Pantry. You can tell me your name too. It's frustrating that they're not wanting to pay for your audience because, unless they're giving you, depends on what the product is. KitchenAid mixer, I might do something for free. But something that's worth close to $1,000, maybe, depending on the brand and depending on if I really like the product. But that's something that I think it's going to be more and more important for influencers to kind of talk about, is kind of holding the brand's feet to the fire as far as, this is valuable, this is eyes on your product, and I'm not going to give it away for free. All right, y'all, let me see if there's anything else. We're kind of getting to the end of our time. What's the editing software called again? So the AI editing, it's called Descript. I will put it in the chat here. It's hard for me to type while my phone is here. Descript. Oh, Lord, I spelled it wrong. It's Descript. If somebody wants to type it in for me. ROI, Lene, is return on their investment. They want a return on their investment. If they pay a YouTube creator $10,000 to mention their product in a video, then they might be looking like over the next 3 months, because YouTube is evergreen, how many new signups did they get? How many new clients did they get? How many sales did they make from that particular video? But it's not just that cut and dry, because what marketing is not advertising. It's marketing. It's getting your product in front of a certain audience so that the next time they think of KitchenAid, next time they think of buying an appliance, they think of LG or whoever. She says the normal one is $40. Only one came with the pizza oven, was about $150. No. The best thing for you, Bear Pantry, with your following is to have a product or a service that you can offer to your audience. Get the middleman out the way. Be your own brand deal. Be your own brand deal. One of the creators that I've worked with in one of my courses has a cooking, food-related channel. And it's like one of the things she wears all the time in her videos is a really cool denim apron with leather straps and a leather logo on it. And I'm not mistaken, she started producing those. Yes, in your cookbooks. 5 cookbooks. Yes. Push your own stuff. Don't worry about those brands. You're going to make more money by nurturing your own audience and getting them interested in supporting you, Barbara. Thank you. By purchasing your cookbooks, purchasing your aprons, even your cookware. You can have cookware. It's a little bit more involved to sell a physical product like that, but it can be done, and you can, yeah, you're on the right track. You know, the brands, and plus they're paying, you didn't hear from me, they're a pain in the ass to deal with. A lot of them are a pain in the butt. And so, unfortunately or unfortunately, for some creators, that's your bread and butter. It can be a third to two-thirds of your income when you're a YouTube creator, especially. But we just got to figure other ways to make money, and that is other ways to turn our audience into a business. Not to say that we're pimping them out or anything, but we all have something valuable to offer to the audience that we are providing free, helpful, genuine content for on these social media platforms. And so every now and then, if we come in and say, hey, you want to support me? I have this apron, I have this course, I have this cookbook, they're more than willing to support you. So that's it. But if you guys have enjoyed this, we can come back and talk about other things that are related to this topic of, to put it simply, making money and the internet, whether you have a business, whether you are an influencer, or you want to have a business, you want to be an influencer. There's a lot of different subjects we can talk about. Leave me a comment on this live, or leave me a comment on my YouTube video. This video that I am recording live is going to be posted on my channel. You can leave me a comment there and let me know the other things that you want to talk about, and we can do this again. Earlier this year, I was doing a live once a week, and I don't mind. I love talking to you guys. I would like to maybe even bring one of you on to do kind of like an interview type thing. Thank you, Melina, for the compliment on my hair. I'm growing it out. Gonna look different next week. In any case, thanks for. Let me answer one more question. Do I think it's necessary to have a personal brand as well as a business brand? That's a good question. Branding is not really my thing, but I kind of look at it as having my personal brand and my business brand kind of merge. Like, I've been working with ChatGPT to help me define, like, what is my brand voice? My brand voice is not just me as a content creator, not just me as a business coach, not just me as a course creator. It's me as a person. So, really, making my personal aspects of me, what I like to do. I like to travel. I like to cook. I have a family, very family oriented, making that a part of my business brand. So maybe we could dig deeper into that on another live. So, but thanks you guys for coming, and thanks for joining me on Instagram and on YouTube, and maybe we'll do it again next week. All right? Talk to y'all later. End my live. And finish.